Hello. So I wanted to talk about what this thing is about the wrecking of London's iconic double-decker red buses. So I first came across this phenomenon, uh, way back in time with that film Day of the Triffids, which my dad was a fan of and was made in the early 60s, so I must have seen it in the late 60s maybe, giving away my age there. I'm not a boomer, I really ain't. I deny all accusations of that. So in this film, Day of the Triffids, see my video on Day of the Triffids, 28 Days Later and The Walking Dead, all together in one fantastic video. Anyway, in this film, they're kind of walking through this. Everyone's gone blind in London, and everyone's stumbling about, apart from a couple of people, when they come across this overturned, wrecked double-decker bus, which is very iconic. It's kind of, wow, look at that double-decker bus there. Little did I know that there's a bit of a history of this with the double-decker buses, and started digging about, and because it came up again in 28 Days Later, where they pretty much copied that scene. It was great. It was a eulogy. I don't know what eulogy means, but that's what comes to mind. It was a eulogy, something or other, to honour the other film, and again, very iconic. With Jim stumbling about a deserted London, blah blah blah, and the buses all turned over. It makes quite a scene. So I looked into it a bit. What's this thing with it? Because it came up again. There was a Day of the Triffids made in the 2000s, and there's a bit of double-decker bus wrecking going on over Westminster Bridge. I think you see a few, not quite as iconic as the other two films, but it's there. The old wrecking the old double-decker buses. So, then I came across all these photos of World War Two, where there's these totally bombed out buses. You're going home from work on the number 9, and suddenly there's an air raid, and fucking Stuka comes down, or Juice 69, or whatever, what were they called? Junkers, I don't know, ME 109, I don't know what it was, but came down and bombed the fuck out of the bus, and there's buses in holes, and there's buses upside down, and there's buses burned out, and wow, it makes quite an iconic picture. So it was the Germans that seemed to start this bus wrecking thing, which ain't on really, but it is very iconic. And then I was thinking, I remember back when there were the troubles in Ireland, and then you used to see this film of these riots, and they'd be blocking the road with these buses, because it makes a good road blocker, does a bus. It might, maybe not a double decker, maybe a double decker, not London there, obviously, maybe Londonderry, or Derry, as you wish to call it, but it blocks the road very well. It's a large thing, is a big bus, isn't it? So they're used as barricades in revolutions, so that's all pretty iconic, isn't it? That's a good use of a bus, I guess, And then I remember, I thought, I remember 2011, and there was these riots in London, and I'd happened to be at a football match with my kids. I won't tell you what team I support, because you might hate me forever, or you might love me forever. Who knows? Who cares? Anyway, it was a pre like season friendly, so I had my kids with me, and we're walking back from the match up a certain high street, and things were kicking off outside the police station. You can look into how the riot started, but we were right there, me and the kids, walking past as it was all starting. Mainly it was just families then, outside the police station, megaphone, and, not complaining, but being upset about what had happened. And as we walked past them, I said to the kids, don't worry, it's families, they're angry, something's happened, they're upset. Don't worry, they're not interested in us, which they weren't. And I actually recognised someone from work on the megaphone. So I said, "Come, oh, hello," as I crept past with the kids. And as we got up the road a bit, I looked down at a side street and I saw all these fucking guys all masked up, all kind of waiting, I think, for the football crowd to go and for it to get a little bit darker. And by the time we got home, about an hour or so later, I can't remember if I got a call. I might have got a call from someone. They said, "Hey, are you watching Sky News?" And I said, "What? No, turn it on." And we turned it on. The street we just walked down, there was a burning double-decker bus in the middle of the street, and it was all kicking off and flames were coming out. Anyway, London really blew up, but that double-decker bus from 2011 riots really sticks in my head. And then more recently, there was a kind of riot, or a little riot in Leeds, I think it was, and they set a bus on fire. Okay, not a London bus, but they set on a bus on fire. What's this thing with setting buses on fire? I mean, why don't you set something else on fire? I mean, I suppose it's better than setting someone's house on fire, isn't it? That's not pleasant. What else could you set on fire? A tree? I mean, it was green wood. Pine burns, all right. I mean, there's not much pine trees in the cities, are there, really? What else could you set on fire? Cars. I mean, they do set on fire cars, I guess, but it's not quite as iconic, is it? You've got a bus coming up. And then I thought, oh my God, I remember that 7/7 thing that happened in London with all these bombs going off in the tube system. When was that? 2005? I think it was, because we call it 7/7, so it can't be 7/7/7. I mean, I don't think it was 2007, but I think it was 2005. I haven't looked back into it, but I remember that day. Wow, I was at work that day. We didn't know what was going on. We had people out all over the place, and the tube system was down, and people were being blown up. And I think what happened was one of the bombers, suicide bombers, couldn't get on the tube because they closed the tube because of all the bombs going off, and he got on a 30 bus and blew himself and a lot of people up right there in Russell Square in London. And funny enough, it's kind of a bus route I sometimes took, so that was pretty, pretty deadly, really. Then I came across, just moving on a bit, I came across a couple of movies, one called The Core. I can't remember what year, 2000 and something, I don't know, what year are we in, 2025 just. If you're watching in 25, it's 2025 now, yeah. So called The Core, and I think a load of pigeons go a bit crazy in Trafalgar Square, which is ironic because we killed all the pigeons in Trafalgar Square like they were vermin, because they were like vermin. But apparently there's all these pigeons go a bit nutty and fly into a bus, and then the bus goes all wobbly and crazy and turns over, and it's all very iconic. It's a bus again. It's a red double-decker bus. What's going on with this bus thing? And then, what was the other? London Has Fallen. This film, London Has Fallen. This bus goes over the bridge and blows up. Very spectacular one, that one. All blowing up, higgledy-piggledy everywhere. So I just wanted to talk about what's this thing about wrecking London's buses, and a plea to people in the future, in 25, or in 2025 or 2125, whenever it is, not 1825 because that's already gone, and to stop it. Just stop it. We've had enough of it now. I think we're well done with it. Leave our buses alone. So that's what I got to say. So thanks for listening, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you about.